Hello, you badass beauties. I am Krista Lee. For anybody that's new here, I'm the CEO and founder of DBL, which stands for Dream, Believe, Live. It's been my big dream since I was a young girl. And since I was like 4 or 5, I've always had this inner knowing, or, oh, look at the sun come out. Like, that feels so good. I've always had this inner knowing that I was going to change the world. And it's one of those things that still resonates within my heart to this day. Why I think what keeps me going, which keeps me taking steps forwards through the discomfort, through the fear, through the challenges, any suffering or setbacks that I've been through, that's been always the underlying thing with me is just I just know I'm made for more, that I'm here to do something spectacular. And I signed up for this. I know I did. I know I did. My angels always tell me that I signed up for this. So the middle part is believe, which is the most important, the key ingredient of the whole puzzle, is having that belief in yourself, that unwavering confidence, that trust, that certainty. And sometimes it takes a little bit of practice to get there, because trust me, I haven't always had that deep belief in myself, but I think the more we practice it and give ourselves just a little bit grace and keep showing up for ourselves every single day, despite anything that life throws at us, we build that confidence muscle and that belief in ourselves. And the second part is live, which I truly love, is live like there's no tomorrow. Because you guys, this actually gets me emotional. We are all here on borrowed freaking time. And I know you hear that over and over, that life is a gift, that tomorrow's not promised, but it's true, true facts. That tomorrow's not promised. Our next hour is not even promised, right? And God forbid that we need some sort of shit to hit the fan where somebody gets sick or a loved one passes away that reminds us of how precious our time here is. So guys, like, live like there's no tomorrow. Do epic shit. Have more fun. Take the risks, right? Show up for yourselves. Get out of your comfort zone. And that's what I want for my DBL girl. That's who I am. I've always been a high achiever. Like, I love doing things that challenge me, that excite me, that fire me up, that push me beyond. Sometimes I surprise myself and I'm like, holy shit, I just like blew my own mind. That's where we need to be, right? Out of that comfort zone. Because I truly believe that within that comfort zone, sometimes it's a great place to be. It can feel all warm and cozy and comfortable, but I feel like that's where our dreams go to die. That's where our dreams go to die. I feel like that's where our highest potential, our best self goes to die. And I literally found myself there for way too long. And what actually ended up happening for me, being stuck in my comfort zone, was truly killing me. I found the more I stayed stagnant and stuck in I'm just doing good and staying in my comfort zone, it actually created a lot of depression within me, a lot of depression. Like, I was suppressing all of this talent, all of this like these gifts and magic within me. I was suppressing it all down, and that turned into physical depression in my life. And that depression, which was such a like a not a beautiful place for me to be, I then started resorting to like alcohol to numb that feeling of just not feeling great, right? Where we'll just have a glass of wine then to get rid of that gross feeling, or we'll go online and we'll binge shop or whatever it is. I was always stuffing and suppressing that feeling where I wasn't living to my full potential. I was staying in my comfort zone. It was literally killing me. And I know to this day when I resort to when I'm not, just something just feels off within me, I'm like, oh, or like, oh, it's Friday, I should have a drink, and like whatever it is, I'm like, oh, just a glass of wine that'll take that edge off, right? Or whatever it is, I just get back to myself and go, okay, what is this here to tell me? What is this here to tell me? Am I scared? Am I fearful of something? Or am I just like really dimming my light? Am I staying in my comfort zone, which is actually killing me? So I think when we can learn more about ourselves, it's such a beautiful place where we're constantly in this evolution of learning and growing. I love learning about myself, and I love the fact that now I can get on the other side, where I think in society we've been conditioned to with uncomfortable feelings, or like, if like I know just like say as a kid, you're like, when you're crying and like, oh, suck it up. Or like, and then you just stuff that emotion away instead of feeling and trying to understand why you feel this way. We suppress it or push it away. And I feel like a lot of the times in life, we do that too. If something feels uncomfortable or uncertain or makes us feel anxious, maybe we'll numb it with something, whether it's just binge watching TV, or we scroll our phones, or we mindless shop, or we have a drink, or we smoke a joint, or whatever it is. We try to numb that feeling, or we keep busy to avoid it, right? But I think the root cause, it's just going to keep coming back over and over again if we don't literally get to the root cause of why we keep doing these things, to suppress that feeling. So for me, anytime, I know for fear, I'm the acronym master. DBL stands for Dream, Believe, Live. Fear for me stands for false evidence appearing real. That fear is lying to you. That fear is lying to you. Whatever it is, that's not what you're actually scared of, right? Like if that fear is coming in, I think we should open it with open arms and be like, what is this here to show me? Like, for example, I was auditioning for Dragon's Den, which is like our Canadian version of Shark Tank. And I was like, I'm scared shitless. Like, this is a big deal. And fear was coming in and it was kind of shutting me down. I thought, okay, what is this? What am I scared of? Am I scared of screwing up my lines? Am I scared of that they're not going to like me? Am I scared that I'm not going to get this? Like, a lot of things were coming up. But for me, the bottom thing was I was more fearful that I was going to screw up. But whatever, maybe in that screw up, they're going to realize that I'm vulnerable, that I'm a real person, that we all mess up, we forget our lines, right? And I think if when we let go of that fear, we start to understand it more, and that it's there to show us, like, I truly cared so much about this audition, right? That fear was there to tell me that this is something that means something to me, that I'm not scared, I'm actually excited. Like, this means something to me. So I harnessed that fear energy and I was like, yes, let's let this propel us forward instead of keeping us stuck. Because a lot of the times when fear shows up, anxiety shows up, depression shows up, these uncomfortable emotions, we usually run from them and suppress them, or we don't allow them to actually propel us forwards. They keep us stuck. And that's where we resort back to our comfort zone. Like I always say, like in that comfort zone bubble, on the other side of your comfort zone is that fear, right? And then on the other side of that is uncomfortable and it just doesn't feel good. And then sometimes we didn't go far enough for it to not suck. And what do I mean by that? That if we just take that one more step through that fear, through that uncertainty, through that discomfort, on the other side of that, pardon my language, is fucking amazing. Is amazing. That's where life gets exciting. That's where the zest and the spark and the joy for life really exists. Like, you know, when you do a workout and it's really hard for you and it's challenging, but you show up again and you do it the next day, even though you know it's going to be hard. Then you do it again, and then a week's gone by, and then 3 weeks has gone by, and you're like, holy shit, I can start to see the transformation. And then you keep committing to yourself, and then a month has gone by, and then 2 months, and then you're like, holy shit, look at these pipes, right? Because you've committed through that discomfort, through that fear, through the pain, and you kept showing up for yourself. You got to that end point, and then you keep doing that because that momentum creates that confidence, and you keep showing up for yourself because you're like, yeah, I told myself, I committed to this, and I'm going to keep that promise. And when you keep those promises, is you're like, okay, the sky's the limit. What can we do next, right? You just set that bar where you're like, yeah, I can do hard things. I can do challenging things. I can do things outside of my comfort zone. Because guess what? I'm a badass. I'm a rock star. And you start to build that confidence muscle up. And gosh, guys, it's contagious. It's almost like this. It's like this. I was like, it's like this surge of energy once you do something that you've maybe like had fear or something that was holding you back from doing it, then you finally commit to it and do it. It feels so freaking good. Like maybe you're about to, like, for us, we went out to Fernie and like there was this huge like rock cliff that you jump off to into the water, and like it was huge, man. Like you're like a free falling for like 3 to 5 seconds, which is like a long time, right? So I was like, I was scared, but I was like, what am I scared of? I'm like, really? You're just going to land in this water. It's going to be exciting. If anything, maybe I might do a belly flop and that would suck, but whatever. We'll deal with it when we get there. Like, our fear usually holds us back from actually doing the thing. When once we do it, I jumped, I fully committed, I jumped. holy shit, I don't think I've ever felt like an energy better than that. When you hit the water and you come up, you're like, I did it. It feels so good. And we need to translate that more into our daily activities, right? Like doing more of the things that scare us, that maybe get us that little fire in the belly that maybe we've been putting off, right? To stop putting off these things and stop overthinking them and just taking those small actions. Like I was like, what am I so scared of this jump for, right? Like it should be fun. Like if we could like reframe that fear and be like, this is excitement, like let's go, right? Like let's freaking go. Stop letting our fear, our doubt, our worry, our uncertainty hold us back. Instead, let's build a new relationship, welcome it with open arms and say thank you for showing up. But maybe you're lying to me. Maybe I'm not actually fearful. Maybe I'm actually excited, right? Can we reframe it and just push through that fear? And get out of that comfort zone, past the fear, past the discomfort, and into the fucking amazing side of it. Because on the other side of that fear and that discomfort is incredible. And people talk about the comfort zone all the time. And that's where dreams go to die. That's where I go to die. I truly know. Sometimes it's great to go back there. Like I always refer to sometimes when you're climbing a mountain, and sometimes you need that beautiful base camp to get to and hike out and camp out and stay there for a little bit. But we don't stay there for too long, right? Because you'll get comfortable and then you're never going to want to keep climbing to the next part of the mountain, right? And then we just stay here and you're like, oh, maybe this is good. Mm-mm. Good is a horrible place to be. Good is not a good place to be. We want great. We want excellent. We want a life worth living that's full of zest, that's full of opportunity, that's full of doing things and taking the risks and doing things that scare us and challenge us. Because as human beings, we love to grow. We love to learn. And I think Tony Robbins says that if you're not growing, you're dying. And I feel that too. If I'm not constantly either like learning something about myself or stretching in the fact that maybe I'm just stretching in a way with my family and doing different things and learning things about how to be a better mom or a better parent or just how to learn how to raise these little humans. There's always different areas of our life that we could be growing and stretching in. Like I'm not a good baker. Maybe I want to learn how to bake cookies a bit better. It's just so cool for us to constantly be like taking these steps and trying different things in our lives. Lots of us will never try anything different in our life. And I think, dang, I don't want to go to my grave being like, shit, I never did anything different or challenged myself. I never did anything that somebody like, you know what? I didn't live a life where somebody doesn't even know one thing I did. Like maybe it's just you smile at a stranger every single day and you just turn that person's day around. Like do not live a life where you're just like, it's so mundane. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I go to work, I do my 9 to 5, I come home, I scroll through my phone, I turn on a Netflix, I binge watch it, eat supper and go to bed. Like, that's not what I signed up for. That is definitely not what I signed up for. Some days aren't all exciting and some days are simple. And I embrace that too, right? Like not every day is amazing and exceptional and filled with magic. And some days are difficult. Some days are challenging. I didn't say life is easy and that we all got it figured out. I just say we just don't stay stuck and we realize that the thoughts we think and the words we speak, these things are what are unfolding our whole life for us, right? Like our thoughts create our feelings create our actions, and our actions unfold our whole life. So a lot of times it goes right back up to what you're thinking, right? If you're feeling something that doesn't feel good, go back to the thought you're thinking, get rid of that thought, right? And like I say, like if you're waking up every morning and you're like, oh, I'm so tired and I don't feel good, my body's sore and I'm like lethargic, I don't even love my job and it's just another day. How do you think your day is going to unfold, right? Do you think it's going to be full of magic and joy and beautiful opportunity coming at you and just like people are just going to want to hang out with you and just, like do you think your life and your boss is going to give you a nice raise or you're just going to find your dream partner like living in that lack and that low vibration? Hell no. Hell no. If anything, somebody's going to cut you off and you're like, oh, great. Yeah, thanks. And then you're going to get to work and you realize you have a flat tire and it's just going to seem like life just keeps throwing you garbage and shit and all of this like really unfortunate stuff. It's because you're living in that low vibration. What you think about, you bring about. And if you're constantly just living in this lack, that's what you're going to attract, right? So for me, I love, like, we get that choice. If we can wake up every day and be like, put your hand on your heart. I have a beating heart. What a gift. I have breath today. what a gift. I woke up today, what a gift. I put my feet on the ground, what a gift. I'm like just reframing that, flipping that script and deciding that, you know what, I'm going to go move my body out of love. I get to, not because I have to, but I get to move this body that worked so hard for me as I was sleeping. It was repairing, right? My body works so hard for me. So I'm going to treat it right today. When I treat my body right, it treats me right. I put nourishing foods in it. I give it lots of water, whatever it is, right? And then I wake up and I'm like, okay, like I brush my teeth and I look myself in the eyes and I say, I love you, Krista Lee. I love you, Krista Lee. I love you, Krista Lee. Say that 3 times to yourself, but use your name, not mine. And say that to yourself, right? And that connection, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this one. That connection was really hard. The first 3 weeks that I did it, when I would say I love you, Krista Lee, in the mirror and look myself, it was hard to look myself in the eyes. And then you know what? The more I did it, through that discomfort, through those emotions that were coming up, that I didn't really feel the love. I didn't feel that connection. It was hard to look myself in the eye. But I thought, you know what? You deserve this. You deserve to love yourself. If you're not going to love yourself, who will? If you're not going to believe in yourself, who will? If you're not going to look at your eyes, your own self in the eyes and say, I love you, it's hard to give anybody else that love if you can't give it to yourself. And it's hard to receive love from other people if you can't give it to yourself, right? So often, like when somebody gives us a compliment, we don't know what to do with it. It's because we have a hard time even giving ourselves those own compliments. So if we can say, gosh, you look beautiful today. I love you. You're amazing. You're fantastic. Like, let's kick some ass today. You know what? Today's your day. Today's your day. Miracles are unfolding all over us, and I cannot wait to see who I meet today. I can't wait to see what new beautiful opportunity comes my way. I can't wait to see what song I dance to with my kids when they get home. Like, when you start coming at it with these beautiful, like, life's just going to unfold beautifully for me, you're going to attract more of that, right? So I challenge you to look yourself in the mirror in the morning. That'll be your first little tool, a little assignment from me. And when you're brushing your teeth, because we should all do that every morning, right? Look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you 3 times. And it might be a hard connection for the first little while, but I promise you it's so rewarding. Now I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, then you just start seeing more and more things that you love about yourself. And you're like, oh gosh, I love your smile. Oh gosh, I love your cute little butt. Oh gosh, I love the way you curl your hair. You're just a cutie patootie. Oh, I just love you, Krista Lee, right? And you put that love out instead of like the opposite where we look in the mirror and you don't see what you love. I want you to build yourself up instead of cutting yourself down. Okay, let's try that for a change. Let's flip that script because I just, again, so tired of this negative connotation and just women not loving themselves, who they see in the mirror. It's just, oh, it's horrible. And I know it's some societal standard that we're like, we need to be pretty like her. We need to be successful like her because like all the things that we see usually on social media or stuff right now is such a highlight reel. And I get that, but I want you just to, not worry about the comparison game, right? That when you look outwards, like put your blinders up. There's nobody in this world that like comparison is literally is a dream killer. It kills all the magic, right? If you could just look at yourself and truly love who you see, and that takes work too. That takes courage, that takes bravery every single day to just give yourself that love. It took time. This has been like a whole life process for me. I didn't just wake up one day being like, I love you, Krista Lee, and so confident in that. It took a lot of hard work. And you know what? You are worth that hard work, right? You're worth putting that in every single day. Every single day. Every single day. I remember actually working out one morning, and I usually do it in front of the mirror so I can really connect with myself and my body. And I just burst out into tears. And I was just like, it felt so horrible that for so many years I was so hard on myself, that I didn't give myself that love, that I didn't. And I was just so hard on my body through eating disorders, the body dysmorphia, just even, I would say, even alcoholism, just drinking way too much to stuff emotions. There was just so much things that I did to myself that I'm like, I forgave myself for that. And I think when you can forgive yourself and start that healing journey, it is so beautiful. And another tool that I would love to give you guys, I love giving tools instead of like, someone can inspire you or really ignite something within you, but I want to give you tangible tools that you can do every single day that I've done that have helped me unfold this confident, loving, beautiful woman that you see today. And for me, what it was, number one, the hand on the heart in the morning and just being grateful just to be here, right? For this beating heart, this breath, this gift of life. I want you guys to practice that. And somebody goes, you're not going to get jacked and beautiful muscles after 28 days. No, do this every day. Make this a habit, a ritual, right? You're not going to just love yourself in 28 days. It takes time. It takes months. It takes years of practice and constantly showing up for yourself. So don't just be like, oh, I tried it for 3 days. It didn't work. Don't. Mm-mm. You are worth putting in the hard work. So take those steps every single day. Make it a new routine of yours. And whether it is you just wake up, how simple is that to just put your hand on your heart and just be grateful for this gift of life today. Be grateful that you're here with this breath and this beating heart, right? And the second thing, when you go to brush your teeth, these are just simple things that you can do every day. Connect yourself and look in the eye, right? Look yourself in the eye and say, I love you. I love you. I love you. Say it 3 times and mean it when you say it. You might not mean it for the first little bit. You might not even believe it, but trust me, you will. You do it enough, you will start to believe it. And then you will start seeing all the beautiful things that you love about yourself, right? And it's such a beautiful practice. And the third one I want you to do, if you have a journal, anything, paper, whatever works, super accessible. We all can get paper, sticky notes, grab yourself a marker, a Sharpie, a pen, whatever. And I want you to write down whether it's 3 things you love about yourself, 3 things you're grateful for every single day. Sometimes I don't know why it's so hard for people, but they get stuck at number 1. They can't even think about one thing that they love about themselves, or they can't even write down one thing that they're grateful for. They get so stuck in that because we've been so conditioned to the negative. If I asked you what you didn't like about yourself, I bet you could write 12 pages, and all of that is bullshit garbage, right? If you're going to write down 12 things or 12 pages of things you don't like about yourself, I want you to draw a line down the center of that page, and on the other side, I want you to write the opposite, right? If you don't think you're beautiful, I want you to write, I am beautiful, right? Because all of those things, all of those negative BS things that you're saying, they don't have to exist up here. You don't have to be living in that, right? That you can, if we can so easily think these negative things, why can we not flip the script and replace them with kinder, more loving, uplifting, empowering ones, right? So I challenge you to do that. Like every single day, if you can say 3 things you love about yourself, they could be just surface ones. They could be something deep. Be like, I love your smile. I love your eyes. I love your positive outlook. I love that you love coffee. I love that you love color. I love that you love animals. I love your teeth. I love your cute butt. I love your eyebrows. I love your body. I just, whatever it is, just let it flow and write down those things that you love about yourself and 3 things that you could be grateful for. We'll just start with 3. That's super simple. And when I was at I would say one of my rock bottoms, with depression after having my kids, what really helped for me, because I was really down in the dumps and my brain was not in a good place. I was in this dark fog, and this self-sabotaging cycle of just constantly living in fear and doubt and worry, and just this dark fog came over me, and it was such a like, I would say, a really uncomfortable place for me to be. So in that darkness, I challenged myself to always look for the light. I got up one morning and I was like, we can't stay here. We cannot stay here any longer. So I got myself a journal and these bright, beautiful, colorful Sharpies, and I would write out words and affirmations like, I love you. Keep going. Fly, girl, fly. You got this. You are beautiful. The world needs who you're made to be. I believe in you, even with those tears in your eyes. And I would just write down positive things, or I'd go on Pinterest and find quotes and I would write them out over and over. And these words became my lifeline. At first, like I said, I didn't believe them. They were kind of like, they were just stuff that I was writing on the paper. But the more I did it for months and months and months, the more I did this, I seen this spark and this light and this beautiful, like, something was reemerging in me out of this darkness. And I thought, you know what? I think this is something super valuable that women that I know that are going through something difficult, it doesn't have to be a big action. It can be something just as small as looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I love you every morning, or writing down words that uplift you. They can be a walk every day in nature to connect with yourself. They can be just small actions that you take every day. It doesn't have to be something huge, but just commit to one thing and do it every single day for months and months. Just show up, right? The words were uplifting. The colors were uplifting. And it sparked something in me, this healing journey of writing these words out. I started believing them, and I started getting rid of this negative BS garbage that I was saying up in my head. And I could see this depression start to fade away. And I was starting to like get this confidence back and this light and this joy for life. And these words, it was like this trigger moment for me where it was like, the thoughts we think and the words we speak are so powerful, right? That when I started filling my mind with more uplifting things rather than these self sabotaging, downward spiral, depressive, really limiting thoughts, my whole life changed. So change the way you think, transform your whole life. So that's where I started with the jewelry and putting beautiful words on all the pieces, because it was like this wearable cheerleader for me. I didn't have to have the journal with me in these words. I could put the words on the jewelry and put the jewelry on every single day. It could be with me 24/7, 365. And the words, they meant the world to me. It was like this little cheerleader, my armor that I would put on every single day. So it's so cool how one of my lowest low points with DBL and myself actually created the whole brand and what it is today. That it was like a transformation. This healing journey was actually the stepping stone. That suffering and that darkness and those setbacks were actually stepping stones to get me to where I am today. So if you are in a place where maybe you're struggling, maybe it's hard, maybe it's uncomfortable or uncertain, it's okay. Like those, there is so much magic in that, so much magic in the mess, that I just say, just keep taking action. Even if it's messy action, take one small step every single day that will propel you forward to that lightness, to get you back to that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bright soul that you know you are, that exists within there, because I knew she was in there. She was dying to come out. I was so lost in this dark, depressive spot that I was like, she was dying to come out. I knew she was in there, but it just took me being brave, being courageous, believing in myself, trusting in myself, and just taking one small action step every single day towards who I know I was meant to be. And those words were so powerful. So that's why I just challenge us every single day to just really watch what we think and how we speak to ourselves, because these thoughts we think and these words we speak are really unfolding our whole lives for us and how we see ourselves. So I hope that helped you guys. I gave you 3 beautiful tips that you can do. So yeah, give yourself some grace, but just make sure that you're showing up for yourself every single day, okay? Taking those small steps forwards, whatever it is. Don't stay stuck. Don't stay in your comfort zone. Get out of there, through the fear, through the discomfort, through anything that's uncertain. We don't need to know what's going to happen. Just take the steps and life will just keep unfolding for us. But just do it out of love, do it with trust, do it with certainty and belief in yourself, and just watch the miracles unfold. You will get there. The dots will always connect at the end. I promise you, it will always make sense. And if you're listening to this right now, like, look at you. You've made it through 100% of everything that life's thrown at you because you're here, you're listening to this. So that means you're basically a professional at figuring it out. We just need to believe in ourselves more, trust ourselves, and just take steps forwards out of bravery and confidence, and just keep going, okay? I love you. I'm your bright, colorful cheerleader friend that you didn't know you needed and now you have, okay? So make sure you tune in, listen to all the episodes, because I'm here to help you step into the best version of you and just show up for yourself every single day, because you're a goddamn rock star and you deserve to live a life that is just, it's magical, it's beautiful, and I want the best for you, okay? So have a kick-ass day. Make sure you share this. Make sure you come back each week, because I know together we're going to create some magic. So I love you. Have a kick-ass day and go put some hope out into the world. I always say hope. Help one person every single day. What helps you the most is helping others too. So what you put out, you get back. Hope. I'm the acronym master. I told you guys. Help one person every day. So go out there, whether it's you go message someone, let them know you're thinking of them, or maybe you text a friend, you send them a voicemail, you smile at a stranger, whatever it is, pay for somebody's coffee. Go out there and put hope out into the world, okay? I love you. Have a kick-ass day, you beauties.